What's up, good people? It's your boy, the boy Henry Hank, back at it again with another video. And today we'll be taking a look at some of the haters, some of the gaming commentators who are, speaking ill of the upcoming Wolverine game by Insomniacs Games, who have been producing quality for most of the generation, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of Spider-Man, but the games speak for themselves. Quality-wise, sales-wise, reception-wise, it is what it is. But this Wolverine game is something I am looking forward to because I do like Wolverine as a character. I do like Logan. And, I was largely staying away from a lot of previews. I'd rather just see it at a state of play or whenever PlayStation officially shows something themselves. I don't really care to look at what other people play and then post who aren't, rad brad. You get what I mean? So these people posting these previews don't really do nothing for me, and I wasn't really checking for them, to be quite honest with you. But they've been causing quite a bit of stir on X. You have a lot of people who have gone out of their way to, point certain things out and list certain quote-unquote constructive criticisms, which haven't been constructive. They just been criticism. If you issue a constructive criticism, you would then list ways in which that could be remedied. But of course, obviously, these people do not do that. And when you push back on their criticism, they then say it's constructive criticism. It's just hush, individual. Okay, so let's go through this line of complaints, if you will. Fully scripted gameplay, right? We don't have the full game in our hands. I doubt this individual played it themselves on account of they are reposting what somebody else played. So to then make the comment of it's fully scripted is nonsense. Mediocre visuals at PS4 level. Again, nonsense. We know better than that. We know better than to believe that Insomniacs Games, one of the premier studios of Sony PlayStation first party studios, would produce here in 2026 a PS4 level visual showcase, just from coming off the back of Beast of Reincarnation, which is exactly a PS4 generation visual game. Visually, this couldn't be further from the case. It's just more reaching and more digs at PlayStation for whatever reason. They do have things that they dropped the ball on and should be criticized for, but I do not believe this is one of them. The only thing visually that I would say, and it's my preference, I don't care for Insomniacs facial designs. I think they come off quite soft, especially when you do have a character like a Logan who is gruff and rugged. You don't really want to have soft features, and they chose to go that route for whatever reason. That's on them. I still do not believe the game as a whole looks bad. I still do not believe Logan, even inside of this game, look bad. It's just one thing that, if I had to pick, if I had to nitpick, it would be that. Mandatory stealth sections. Admittedly, I don't mind stealth sections. I feel like they provide a nice change of pace, a different way to engage, with the game. Sometimes you get access to different mechanics, and, I'm fully on board with sneaking up on some dudes, put some claws through the neck, put some claws through the spine. However you get to dispatch them from sneaking up on them, I am with it. I don't think that it would be outside of Logan's character to have some stealth interactions or to sneak in and out of certain places. He does have abilities that makes him excel at being a tracker. So, in being a tracker, and you don't really, usually when I see a lot of, even on TV, right, we see individuals who possess that skill set. They do sneak into places, they do, bend around corners and stick to the shadows. So it wouldn't be out of character for an individual such as Logan to implement some tactics like that. It just wouldn't be out of character. So I get if you are an individual who don't like stealth, that it would kind of rub you the wrong way. But we also don't know how this functions. We also don't know if it'll be a situation where if you're seeing this automatic mission over, you got to start over. That would be annoying. That can be annoying. I get it. But if it's a situation where you can be seen, and from that point on, it's just guns blazing or claws blazing, if you will, I think that'll be fine. Personally, I would like to sneak through and not be seen, but if I do, it is what it is. It's time to chop some bodies. Visual markers that break immersion so the baby don't get lost. Okay. And one thing too I like to point out about this, a lot of these people, they just swear they're the smartest and they pick up on everything and they don't need help nowhere. But they also will complain if a tutorial is lackluster. They'll also complain if they don't know where to go. These be the first people who look up guides on YouTube, the first ones. But if you have a character that has heightened senses and can use abilities like super smell or whatever, how do you then show that in a video game without visual representation? How do you do that? If you're tracking the scent, how do you show that? You have to put some on-screen representation. You have to. Otherwise, it'll just be an ability of the character that you just don't get to use, or isn't made note of. And then after the fact, people will complain, oh, I wish they would have used it. I wish they would have showcased this. And then now they do it, and you complain. Now, maybe you can change the color in the settings, or maybe you can turn it off. We don't know that yet. That's just something else we don't know because we're not actively playing it. And this individual isn't actively playing it. Just look for a reason to complain. You get what I mean? So how else this would be an opportunity for them to showcase that constructive criticism by giving another option or saying something they could have done. They do not. But again, I don't see a problem with this because how else would you show it? Exactly. Press R3 plus L2 to turn on Wolverine's sense of smell and find clues check. It's the juice of westernized Ubisoft post 2016. Okay. Usually in games, pressing those two inputs together or to activate an ultimate ability or something like that, and they're not largely used for pretty much anything else together. So why take up a square? Why take up a triangle? Why take up any of these other face buttons that more than likely already have an assignment, like say to unsheath the claws, to roll, to block, to jump, to parry, to shoot, to aim, to pounce, whatever. A lot of these things that you probably use more often than to press L3, R3, cut it on, and then rock out like that, then press it again and cut it off. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like you want to take up the function of one of these other buttons in order to do that. So this is absolute nonsense. I don't even know why this person would say that, but they're not looking to be, constructive. This is just meant to capitalize on certain negativity floating around about the game and gain followers, gain interactions, and this is what these type of people do, and they get a ton of traction doing it. They get an absolute ton of traction doing it. More followers, more views, more likes, more comments. Even in commenting and pointing out where they're wrong, it's still interactions on the post. It still pushes it inside of the algorithm. So that's just why it's not helpful. The best thing to do is just not interact with it, to be honest with you. Because even if you screenshot with the name, people will go to that account, find the post, and then engage with it, which is exactly what these type of individuals want when they offer nothing of value to the discussion. But I just want to touch on that, make a video, not dragging out. I just want to touch on that, make a video, and get my thoughts on it. I'm looking forward to the game. Hopefully the game comes out and it's excellente, and they do well by the character himself, which I feel like they will. Insomniac is a amazing studio. So drop a like, drop a comment, drop a subscribe. Let me know how you feel inside of the comments. I'll catch y'all outside the next one.